We are on with one of my first favourite guests, DJ Kronic, aka Luke Noize.
Yo.
As of recently.
Yep. What's
the
happening?
man, the myth, the legend. He has victimised many teenagers in their early years at nightclubs. No,
Yeah.
way, actually, that sounds bad. I should phrase that differently.
Now let's leave that. Yeah.
That is not the
When
best way
I
to
was a
phrase that.
teenager.
When
Yeah.
he was a teenager. Yeah, behind the decks.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've had a wild 6 months.
Yeah, bro.
6 months.
Yeah. I just came back from working on the Superbowl, which is pretty fucking crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how. When I seen that, I was like, surely that's like, is that the biggest thing that's happened?
Oh, yeah, I'd say so. That's probably the biggest event I've ever worked on.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that seems like that would be like the crowning fucking jewel. And working with USHER on his set, and his set was so fucking good.
Yeah, well, I mean, cheers, and yes, it was. Like, I feel pride because I worked on it, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I was pretty heavily involved with it, and...
So what, you get the call because you worked with USHER and like Lil John you're pretty close with Lil John on all of his projects.
Yeah, so like basically last year I was kind of just doing my own thing, working on this new project, which I guess we'll get into that at some point. Working on my own shit, like the Luke Noize dance stuff, and then like I said, like I've worked with John for about 10 years now since that Bend Over song. And, you know, it's kind of like the thing, we work a lot for a few months and then we kind of, you know, go our separate ways and then something comes up and, we get back in. And we had done the R&B Fridays tour that him and USHER did here in Australia in 2018. And then we got the call to do USHER's Vegas residency. So we put that together. And then we did the Lovers and Friends Festival, the first round of that, which was this huge, it was kind of like R&B Fridays, but in Las Vegas, it was like all the big acts from the fucking 90s and 2000s. And so we'd like build a relationship putting shows together for USHER. And then when he got at that point, they weren't really working together, like they kind of just went their separate ways after them shows. So much so that when I heard he got announced, I didn't think we were going to be working on it because like he's got a bunch of people that work with him. So yeah, I heard the announcement. I'm like, oh, that shit's kind of cool. And then, like out of the blue, John just hits me and he's like, oh yeah, USHER wants us to do the Super Bowl. So
that's fucking
That's
because I don't even watch NFL, but everyone watches the halftime show.
Oh yeah,
do you know
same.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone watches the halftime.
About football.
I know nothing about American football.
Yeah.
It looks like it'd be cool to go to. I still think AFL's better.
Yeah.
But like AFL's way better to me.
Yeah.
But
makes more sense.
It makes way more sense. And it's just like, but the halftime shows are always elite.
Oh, yeah. It's like the biggest event. Sorry, just get things.
No, you're all good.
Yeah, it's like one of the biggest, I think it's the biggest like
viewing experience on TV
event of all time, like in terms of performances for artists. Like,
and what was it like being in like was it a bit crazy being in, because the mechanics behind the Super Bowl would have been nuts.
It was fucking nuts, man. Like seeing it, like going all the way to the end, like watching it live, what we had just worked on was insane. And, you know, seeing, and it was in Vegas too. So like the whole Super Bowl was in Vegas, which just made it another level.
Do they change where it is every year?
Yeah, every year it's in a different place in America.
Oh, all right.
And they announce that like before the season starts, so you never know who's going to be in. So I think it's only been one time in the history that the home team
has been in the Super Bowl.
In the city that they're at, you know?
Yeah.
And so, because it was Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers.
The 40 to the 69ers.
Yeah. Which I don't know where they're from. I should have known that. I knew, but I forgot about the actual football part of it.
You would have been rubbing elbows with some cool motherfuckers as well.
Yeah,
there would have been so many people around.
Yeah, in Vegas for that whole week as well. Because basically what happened, so I got the call, and like in the past, me and John being music directors, we've kind of like, me, him, and the Avila brothers, who are like USHER's DJ and musical director, we kind of like get in. Me and John got on a Zoom call in like November and started putting together ideas for the show, like just you know, I started bringing in all the songs, like the instrumentals, acapellas.
It was so well put together.
Like, oh, cheers, bro. It was like,
I'm not just riding your dick because you're here as well, but it was so weird being like, fuck, I know the cunt that fucking put that together.
Dude,
wild.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of 4 of the music directors and then one of like 100 of everybody that was involved. You know, there was a huge team of people working on it. Lots of back and forth between like choreographers and then, you know, the other artist teams and then Usher and John and the Avila brothers. And yeah, so
it's like a fucking movie production.
It was hectic, dude.
It's like, so weird that you call Lil John John.
Yeah. Like when the artist name is like that, it's like it's hard to be. Oh yeah, Lil John. You know, like sometimes I find myself saying it and then having to say Lil John just
so people know who you're talking about.
Not just a random John.
He doesn't look like a John.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
But he's cool as fuck, man. Like I've known him for that long now, and it's just So we went out there. I went out in November of last year and spent a month just in the studio putting it together. And we tried, I think we did like 100 different versions, slight changes on a lot of them, but like big changes on some of them, but not 100 different big changes. But, you know, just trying all the different ways we could like this song into that song, this start slower, start faster, you know, mix this, mix that. And, you know, he wanted it because Usher has so many hits. We like wanted to put as much in as we can without it seeming like, oh, they're just rushing through it, you know? So like we did these parts where it was like longer at some point and then shorter mega mixes and then like taking an instrumental from another song and having him sing a different song over it. And then
there's so many fucking moving parts to making shit like that you wouldn't, people just think you kind of just chop songs up and put them together.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was, so what had happened as well was like halfway through we get like kind of an idea of what the set's gonna be, and then I mean the choreographer who puts it together, like the performance, the dancing, the stage, all that shit, like he was there from the start, but once we had a more finished product, that's when he was really like ideas were sparking in his head of like what he should be doing with guests who are coming in and dancers and the stage. And so we'd move songs around and make like gaps and put effects and sound, and you know, like making multiple changes based on that as well. So yeah, it was such a dope experience, but yeah, a lot of work.
And that was the last time because you're sober now, was that the last time you got on a big one?
Yeah.
Was it?
Basically,
it was just the moment like, took over.
Yeah. So that was Feb 11, which is when the show was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like the night of, I ended up just drinking. Like, slipped up. I was 180 days sober before that, and then since then I haven't drank. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good if you were going to have a drink one night to celebrate something, I guess that would be the night, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It sometimes just gets me, you know, like I slip up. Yeah.
You're not smoking weed, not doing anything?
No, I smoke weed. Yeah. I'm an alcoholic, right? So like when I start, I can't stop. And then if I cross that line, I do shit that's just disastrous and like ruins relationships. Yeah. And so I'm like, it was like a sacrifice I had to make. If I wanted to stay doing what I'm doing and still being a part of this and having fun in this industry, like I was like, I need to quit. Like it took me like 10 years to realize, well, maybe not that long, but nah, I knew since I was about 22 that I had a problem. Like,
because I'm pretty sure you weren't even drinking on that first podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Yeah. For the last 5 years, I've been on trying to be a sober, like not non-alcohol, like no alcohol. And I'll never plan a date to drink. It's like, oh, I'm going away that weekend. It's just me. I'm having fun. I'll never be like, yeah, I'm going to drink then, because that just opens the door to drinking whenever. It's always like, no, I'm never drinking. But if I slip up, I slip up.
Would you drink? Would you, when you were drinking heaps, you used to drink by yourself?
Yeah.
See, I'm a fucking huge like binge drinker with like, I won't drink for like 3 weeks. And then if I'm with the boys and everyone's feeling fucking a certain way, I'll send it so fucking hard it'll kill me for fucking 3 days.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I'll only drink by myself to get drunk to go to a party. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you'd pre-drink by yourself.
Yeah. Or like because for the longest time, all my peers in the industry who knew or were either against me drinking because of the shit I've done or knew my struggle were like, they kind of like, no, you shouldn't drink. But then so every time I slip up in them like situations, I'm drinking like kind of in secret until I'm drunk and then I don't care. But I'm like taking a shot while no one's looking, you know? Like there's always that sort of sneaky drinking, which comes with like all this guilt after. But I mean, it is what it is.
And you were talking about, I remember like 3 months ago, 2 months ago, we were talking heaps about mushrooms. Have you like gone down that rabbit hole?
I've only done it like 3 or 4 times and I fucking love it. Yeah. I need it. That's like my next exploration.
Well, I know, microdosing and shit's really good with cutting addictions out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially like when you microdose, I don't know the exact milligrammage, but fucking when you like take really minuscule amounts in little caps throughout the day, it really helps with like sobriety and shit too.
Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't tried it for that purpose. I just tried it because people had it and I was like, fuck it. Like it's so popular now and like it's back in the public sphere that I'm like, I've always been interested in like them like tripping off some type of shit like that. Mind you, I don't think I had enough to trip because I was like, it just felt amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I was like on the border of microdosing anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
when you take that one fucking mushroom too many, it's fucking so rough for like 2 hours.
Which I want to do, and I'm going to do, but like...
It's good to find out who you are.
Yeah. I mean, I did it in a nightclub. The first time I did it was in a nightclub in Vegas. So I was like, I'm glad I didn't trip.
Yeah.
But it was fucking amazing, you know? You know, and it was one of them situations where like, when you're not drinking... and you're in a club, like I'm either fine and I love it, or like I'll be like, nah, I just need to get the fuck out of here.
Anxious.
Like, yeah. And so that time I was kind of feeling like that, and then my mate gave me some, and I was just like, this is the best thing ever.
And then so you've left Vegas, and it seemed like pretty quickly you switched over your Instagram to Luke Noize, and you started posting like fucking more EDM or hard dance and shit. And I was like, yes, it's about fucking time.
Yeah, I actually July of last year, because when I've been heavy into just hip hop, right, as like doing the Dog Project and just working with artists like that. And like July last year, I was at a club. It was a fairly like commercial club too in LA. And it wasn't even that special. It was just like a fun night. And it just dawned on me. I was like, I kind of like dance music again. There was a time where I was like...
I fell out of love with it for ages. But lately... my mate sent me a playlist the other day, and it was, just has all of these bangers from the early and mid 2000s when fucking Avicii was really popping off, and just, I was listening to all this EDM, and I was like, fuck, this music's so good. I wouldn't know shit about who's popping right now.
There's heaps of dope, like interesting new
Fisher's
shit.
massive, but I guess that's more commercial.
That's definitely more commercial. I mean, I kind of like a lot of it and all of it, but I'm liking more of the harder stuff and weird groups. Like there's this group called Brutalimus 3000, and they're this German kind of donk techno, and this chick has these real distorted vocals, and then drum and bass is super fucking exciting right now. The hard techno, like it's just a lot of exciting shit going on again. That's like, for a while there, I felt that like dance was just getting like, I don't know, just shit.
It was real housey and like cruisy. I say my favorite like subgenre of EDM was Melbourne sound.
Yep.
When Will Sparks and Timmy Trumpet and all that, when they weren't even playing at big clubs, they were just playing at like TFU in Lonsdale Street in Melbourne and shit, and you wouldn't leave that club for 5 days. You'd be on fucking 644 pingers. And like, but those like heavy bass line drops and shit was so fucking good when they started coming out.
Yeah, shit was darker and harder and like had more energy, and I think that's like, I like that shit more in all music, you know, like even like with hip hop, it's like always like the psycho harder shit or the gangster rap or the Wu-Tang Onyx, like, you know what I mean? Grave
hard
diggers.
beats, just hard beats.
Same with dance music in the early times. Like I love the euphoric big room stuff, and I got into that a lot, but it was always, I like the harder shit better. And you know, with the rise of house music, like I loved it. It's like the way I look at pop music. I'm like, I can appreciate it and I like it, and if I have to make it, I enjoy it. But that's not what I'll put on when I'm just listening to shit. I'd rather listen to some fucking hard shit, you know, or some fucking violent, like gangster rap or some shit, you know?
Yeah, it's the exact same as me. I like more of like I just like really hard fucking bass line.
Yeah, and like energy and like just, workout music or driving like late at night and fucking energy music or dark, like ominous music. And there's a lot of like the rise of like hard techno and all the hard dance stuff and all the drum and bass. It's like people are loving that shit, and everything's getting faster too, which I enjoy as well.
People still do hardstyle.
Yeah, hardstyle's like almost as big as it's ever been.
Really?
I haven't like dived super deep into that, except for the fact that like all these genres are kind of like they're open to like mashing together these days. Whereas before it kind of, this is your genre, stay in that lane. Now it's like people are into everything, and so
I feel like I died or what killed EDM for me is when festival culture in Australia died. Like, there's no good fucking festies in South Oz anymore.
Yeah.
As soon as they got rid of Stereosonic and Futures, it's like the festivals, like people can say they got good lineups and shit, but they fucking don't. They got like 2 major acts. I showed someone Futures Stereosonic 2012 lineup the other day.
Yeah.
It was fucked.
I can't believe they fucking pulled it off.
Bro,
Like,
Tiesto, Avicii,
Yeah.
Calvin Harris, fucking Fatboy Slim. Like, people were on the little stages, and they're the fucking massive, like, they're top 50 DJs now, and they were performing on little fucking stages.
same with like Future Music did that, right? They had all them, and then they had
Futures
Drake,
was great.
like Drake, Kid Cudi,
bro.
Dizzy Rascal, like,
And they
you're like,
pulled it off.
what? How the fuck are all them people on this one festival that goes around the entire country? You know what I mean?
And it's
like,
40 fucking degrees.
Yeah.
In that time of year,
That
it's
was-
peak January.
I mean, I feel like just people don't go out that like they used to.
No,
like
they don't.
that. So
No,
like,
they
you
don't.
feel for the festival, like organizers, because how the fuck are they gonna compete with that?
Well, I guess there's a lot. I enjoy it too. I enjoy going to like a bar now more and drinking
Yeah.
and shit than going to a club, because there's just no good. Like, we had HQ back when like that was fucking just the ultimate place to go get loose. There's nowhere like that anymore in South Australia. I don't know
Yeah.
about other states and what like the nightlife is like over there, but there's just nothing like that in Adelaide anymore.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of. I don't really know how to. Not really know much about Adelaide scene that much, because I mean I'm here a fair bit.
You go
but-
to Brisbane a fair bit, eh?
Yeah, and I mean, I just don't really pay attention too much to what's actually going on, like in terms of whether a scene's about to die or about to blow up. Like, you see exciting things happening sort of everywhere, and it feels like branded events or like festivals that might come here. They're smaller, yes, but like, you know, there's still some dope shit that comes through here.
You just got to
and-
look for it.
Yeah, and like there's this thing called Culture, which my mates do, and
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
like,
So
that
they're
shit's
coming to Adelaide. They're
crazy.
coming to Adelaide.
Well, they're from Adelaide.
Are they?
Yeah, like it's like Dematic and Restricted. Like there's some popular.
Is Dematic
like,
from Adelaide?
Yeah. They're
Oh,
both from
really?
here, and they're killing it right now. And
Come
they
on the
got,
fucking podcast.
yeah, and that well, I'll have a chat to him. Yeah,
Because I was looking at that culture thing. It popped up in my I don't know if someone shared it, and I was like, "What the fuck's this? It's just a massive warehouse party."
Yeah, and well, they do it in multiple places, and like they're a good example. It's weird. Well, it's not weird. It's like cool that they're from Adelaide, right? But it's an example of what like the culture is now. Like, no pun, because that's the name of it. But like the culture seems to be about like really cool branded events, you know, and whether that's small or big, it like you can take it
Instagrammy.
big. Yeah,
Like, good
and-
for video.
yeah, which I mean, it's not cringe when it's not done cringe, because they're on the pulse. They'll do like the 360 DJ thing, everyone in a warehouse sort of rave style.
They got the
like,
recipe right.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, a lot of the festivals seem to be lacking. You know, like Boiler Room seems to be fucking popping.
Those fucking boiler rooms.
Yeah.
I'll sit in my room and I'll be like, if someone was passing around a fucking glassy right now,
Yeah.
I'd fuck.
Yeah,
I
It's
just
got
look
that
at,
dark,
I just
like-
look at them and
Yeah.
I'm like, this is wild. It gives you goosebumps watching them.
It's crazy, right? And like the whole 360 DJ booth with everyone around and
Oh,
everyone
it's
just going
wild.
off, and like, you know, it's dark. It feels like about the music again. You see like
Everyone's so dialed in on the DJ. No one's having conversations. No one's
Yeah.
on their fucking. That people might be recording, but no one's like
it's
this
like they're
on their phone, bro.
with this hand and they're going like this with the other.
Everyone's-
It's not just like
Everyone's like
Yeah.
fully invested into the DJ.
yeah,
It's
and it's
sick.
dope. man.
So is that what the kind of, not the boiler room because that's its own thing, but the culture thing is kind of like
Yeah,
a
definitely.
subculture of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like they're just on the pulse, and you know, they just know what is popular and what people want out of these sort of events. You know, because like I said, it could be small or big, but it's whether you do it right. You know, and I mean, I sort of feel bad for some of these festivals because of the amount of organization that goes into putting something big together.
Logistically, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, and then like if you have to shift because like people are more into something else at the last minute, like that's hard to do. So it's inevitable that these kind of smaller events are. But you know, you look at some of that boiler room thing or whatever. Like some of them are huge, but some of the best ones are like look like there could be only maybe 2,000 people there.
There was one where this bitch is just in a fucking bathroom that's lit up like green.
Okay, so that's HOR.
Oh my
right?
God.
And that's not even like an event. That's just a DJ live stream, and that's another thing that's super cool. It's like they just have DJs come in there and do that, and it's in that like green tile bathroom.
Good.
It's so
and
dope.
It looks like a fucking horror movie. It looks like somewhere you'd wake up with two kidneys missing in Russia.
Yeah. That's one of the inspirations for me getting right back into it, you know?
Oh,
and then there's D&B All-Stars. Have you seen that?
No.
D&B All-Stars 360. It's like a YouTube channel. And I think it's like an event that they throw. It's exactly like boiler room shit, but it's for drum and bass. And the crowds, if you like watch like Subfocus or Andy C or like
Subfocus, fucking Subfocus.
Yeah.
Hold such a special place in my heart.
Yeah. Like all them... The vintage D&B guys that are cool now, but then also the new kids like, you know, Bow or AMC is kind of in the middle, but like HeadX and like a Little Sound, like they do, when they play these things, the fucking crowds go insane, you know, and it's filmed like a live stream.
Oh, that's sick.
But it's a crowd there with them, you know, it's like Boiler Room meets HOR.
I'd love to fucking do a video at that culture because I'm starting to like venture into more like 15-20 minute traditional style YouTube videos, like heavily edited. Like,
vlog sort of.
Yeah, but we got loose as fuck. Like I went to Melbourne and we got media passes to this massive fight show and I just got fucking loose and I was doing interviews with crowd and shit.
Yeah.
And it would be dope to take a camera into some like culture and just fucking do like little interviews and record cunts just getting loose as fuck.
Yeah, hard.
Yeah.
That'd be sick, bro.
It's fucking sick. I've got to get in contact with them. That'd be dope. But there's some fucking really good DJs in Adelaide now. There's that... I talked to him on and off. I haven't talked to him in a while. Is it Tazzy?
Oh, Tazzy's dope, bro.
He is mental.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been talking about working on a record. I send him a few, like, my vocal ideas, which is weird to say because I thought this project was going to be, like, just me making dance music. But I start putting like some of my punk vocals on it because I worked on a punk project in 2019.
Did you?
Yeah,
oh, you never released it?
I never released it because I was just like insecure and I was like, what even is this? And it was over more of the like punk or like music, you know, like band sounding music, which I love, but I couldn't really pull it off. And like now I'm like, oh fuck, this dance music shit with a little bit of my vocal.
Cross it over.
Yeah, it's kind of like Prodigy, you know, like Keith was never really like... You never had a full song from him. You know what I mean? It was never like verse, chorus, bridge. Like it was just little bits here and there.
Pendulum,
you know?
kind of used to fuck with that as well a little bit.
And like I just feel more comfortable doing that, you know. And so, yeah, like we're working on something. Hopefully, it'll.
He's dope. He's really good, man. He has some songs that'll make you want to go out. Like, you know, that's when you know a DJ's fucking good. You'll just be sitting at home in bed at 11 and you'll hear a song.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, I could actually fucking get in my car or get in an Uber and go out right now after hearing that.
There's some dope motherfucker like Dematic's from Adelaide, Restricted's from Adelaide. The stuff Krunk has in the bag is insane. Fucking Uberjack is like on like the shit.
Uberjack to me is probably my favorite. He just have so many memories of him at the Vic,
bro.
When he used to play at the
dope.
Vic, or like when he wasn't massive.
Yeah,
and he used to just come to the Vic or fucking even Tiger Lily was good back in the day. I don't know if she's still doing it now, but Uberjack fucking used to take Soho and rip it a new asshole, bro.
And his new shit is fucking insane now too. Like it's like it feels like that era's sort of coming back, and like the crew that are making it are the ones that are bringing it back, but also like making it feel new. That's what like Chasing Status are the best example in my opinion of like.
They just did a show in Adelaide.
Yeah, it was fucking insane. Like they're vintage and they haven't like veered from their sound, but the stuff they're putting out sounds new as well. Like they're benefiting from the fact that we're in this like nostalgic wave, but you can't just make stuff that's old, you know? Like there's a tinge to a lot of this shit that like there's not even like, it's kind of just like you got to get it right. Like there's not even one ingredient that makes it new, you know? But like when you hit on something, and they're doing a fucking great job of that. And that's what Uberjack seems to be doing too. Like his new stuff just sounds bonkers.
I think my audience is pretty like hip hop heavy. Oh, I've probably got a pretty diverse audience, but if no one's ever like gone to a club and there's been like a fucking loose as good show and the DJ's just taken control of the whole club, it's the wildest feeling. Like I remember when Borgore first came to Adelaide, bro, he was my favourite DJ and I was so excited to see him, and he played at Apple. Yeah. And the line was fucking insane. It was all the way down Rundle Street. They had a bloke in a van playing like in a DJ. They had like a ute and they were fucking playing bangers up and down fucking Rundle. And I just remember Apple that night went fucking insane. Like
cunts like jumping off of the
balcony and shit, bro. Like people breaking their legs. Everyone's on fucking pingers. I'm pretty sure like Borgore's people were throwing pingers off of the main stage into the fucking crowd. Fuck. And it was just so loose, and it was just like, fuck, you're so dialed into the DJ. It's just fucking, it's like they put you in a trance. Like,
I feel like that element and that energy and that feeling's back in dance music. Maybe it hadn't left, but like maybe you tapped onto something what you just said, like, because I'm a hip hop head, right? Like that's my favorite shit. And like when electronic music kind of comes into what I see as like almost like like a mix of it, you know, it feels hip hop, even though like it's really is just dance, and probably people won't understand what I'm talking about. But like some of this drum and bass stuff and some of this hard techno stuff, the way that they're going from like break beats into 4 to the floor into like vocal samples chopped and distorted, it just feels like the essence of hip hop. You know?
So I think vocals in tracks. That's why I've never been a hell massive fan of drum and bass, because I've never like sat down and listened to really good drum and bass, because I like good vocals in like hard dance music. I love good vocals in it. Yeah, totally. And I feel like drum and bass is more just about the beat mostly.
Yes, but there's so many like vocal records in there. Yeah, there's a lot of subgenres of drum and bass, so that can confuse you, you know, like, because someone might be like, oh, you like vocal drum and bass, and then they'll send you all this like real euphoric dance floor stuff, which if you're more into darker stuff, it might not catch your vibe, or if like, you know what I mean? So like,
there's so many subgenres of fucking EDM and shit, bro. It's like it's like when I first dived into rock music. There's you can't call something the right fucking genre because there's 730 different metals. It's fucking.
And nowadays
wild.
it's like it doesn't even fucking matter.
No, it doesn't.
It's just like a category for you to be like, oh, that's sort of this, but it's like we can do whatever the fuck we want. So yeah, I'm trying to learn about all the genres so that I can like, oh, that's the formula to make this one, so I can fucking distort it and like bastardize the fuck out of it and be like, oh, like that's not really that, you know? Like I like breaking the rules, you know? I want to mash shit together and like take a hard style kick and put it in some drum and bass drums, and then like a techno synth and the vocals from a rap record, and just distort the shit out of them the way that like Rage Against the Machine would do.
Yeah, your vocals are heaps ragey.
Bro, that's like
the sound of them.
That's it's a cheat code, but it's also the sound I'm looking for. You know,
because your vocals they're heaps like rage. They're probably more distorted than like rage.
Way more.
Like heaps more, but you can definitely tell that's kind of the vibe.
That's a huge inspiration. Like the thing is, right, is that when I did work on the punk project, that's when I first write, I distort the shit out of them, because it's like distortion can mask like where you're wrong.
Imperfections and shit.
It makes imperfections sound good sometimes, but then it also masks the ones that you will get rid of. And so like you can kind of like jam and kind of put out ideas down with heavy distortion on, and then you pull it back when you
fine
need to.
tune it.
Yeah, and so I was always finding like, fuck, my shit's way too distorted for the music that I'm going over. And then this group, Brutalimus 3000, like, her vocals are so they're more distorted than mine, and it just sounds fucking amazing. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is where I need to be. And then a lot of these hard style, hard dance, techno, even drum and bass, a lot of the samples that they're using, even just the short little one stab vocal samples, they're distorting the fuck out of them and making them feel like good next to a hard synth, that I'm like, man, I can just live in distortion. I don't even need to ever go out of like pulling it back, you know?
Yeah.
It's harder to get right, but then I can't sing or rap either. So I'm just like bringing character and saying words and like screaming.
But it works.
It works when I feel like I'm hit and miss, you know? I'm never going to say I'm a vocalist, but I do want my voice on as much as I can. So yeah, I'll either get it right or I'll throw it in the trash and work on something new.
Yeah, but like you said, there is. I feel like that scene is coming back a lot.
Yeah,
like it is. Like the peak of fucking that scene for me was I went to Tomorrowland by myself. I did a solo mission.
When was that?
It was the year Avicii died. 15, 17.
Yeah, wow.
But he was headlining the first night, so I can't remember who played his tribute set. I'm pretty sure it was Hardwell.
Yeah. Oh, so you had booked it when he was alive?
Yeah, bro. He died a couple weeks before.
Fuck.
Tomorrowland, and I'm pretty sure Hardwell or someone played his closing set, and it was just the wildest fucking shit in the world. But that nailed festivals.
Yeah, because the emotion would have been so high because he had just died, bro. And then his music's so like emotional.
Yeah, he was a fucking phenomenal DJ. He's probably the best to ever do it in that genre, I'd say. He just had bangers after bangers. I don't think he made a fucking bad song.
Yeah, it was,
Every song he made was just like so good.
Yeah, he was like the Dr. Dre of like Big Room.
Who's that cunt that is doing the mad special effects fucking CGI?
Oh, Anima.
Oh my God.
Bro, that is insane.
What the fuck is that
whole,
cunt doing?
I think it's called Afterlife, which is his record label, and him and all the artists under that, like that's kind of the label vision. Like these big kind of, then it's not AI, but it looks like the AI. It's like animation.
Looks 3D-ish.
It's so insane.
If no one's seen it, go on like Instagram Reels or fucking TikTok and stuff.
Yeah,
Is it A-N-O-M-A?
No, A-N-Y-M-A.
Oh,
Anima.
man.
Yeah.
They look like that would be your worst nightmare if you were having a bad trip.
Yeah.
You would just get lost
but
in it.
Would be. I mean, I can only imagine what it looks like live, you know?
Yeah.
And the music is like, it's all set to this melodic techno, right? Which I like a lot of that shit. It's kind of dark, but it's like melodic and slower. And I'm like, oh fuck, I want to see that with some harder shit and faster shit.
Something like Vinny Vici.
Yeah, or like Nico. Have you heard of Nico Moreno? He's like this new dude. Him, Sarah Landry, Klang Kunesta. I'm probably saying that wrong. Like a lot of these German crew, right? The hard as fuck shit. The crowds are crazy. And I could just imagine that with them sort of visuals would be insane.
I wonder why, like, all real hard fucking stuff comes out of Germany, Berlin, Belgium. Like, those areas just breed really hectic styles.
I don't know why.
Just maybe they're oppressed people or some shit, bro. They're fucking... Because their stuff's, like, real dark.
Yeah.
Like, isn't Berghain in Berlin?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I don't want to say
Have you been there?
No, I haven't been to Germany, nah.
But I think it's.
I really want to go, man. Like that whole warehouse scene, like looks insane, and like it's kind of because there's the rave scene, which is big across all Europe and even North America, right? But they have tapped into this hard and this dark. It's like warehouse. It's kind of like kink fetish aesthetic too.
That's what Berghain is.
Yeah, it's so like, and that's my fucking vibe, man. Like that. You know, like that,
or even like Russia's fucking. I remember when you go to like Greece and Cyprus, they have a huge Russian population. So the clubs over there get fucking weird because they cater to Russians, and Russians fucking party, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just something in the water over there, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of the wave they've been on. So it just grows and grows and grows and grows. But there's a lot of cool shit coming out of there.
Have you been following all of the AI shit that's going on with music at the moment?
Yeah.
Have you fucked with Suno?
Sort of. I haven't messed with Suno.
You haven't?
No. That's my next goal, to work with Suno.
I've got to load it up right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. I'll put it here. Wait. Just give me one sec. I got it here. So this is where is it there? This is it. So you literally type in there.
Yeah.
Like you'd be able to use it a lot better than I would, because you know terms and like intricacies of music. Whereas I'll just like type something in and it'll be real fucking basic.
But I wonder what does it know of subgenres? Like if you type, give me a house beat that sounds like Fisher, that might be right, but like
you can't write a name.
Artist.
You can't write a name.
All right, right, dark, right, hard techno.
Hard.
Can you write tempos?
Probably.
Right, hard techno beat with big hardstyle synth and aggressive. I can't say prodigy. Aggressive punk style vocal. Let's see if it.
How do you say synth? How do you say
SYNTH.
With big hardstyle synth.
Yeah, with aggressive punk vocal. With a short. Right, with a short just that's fine, I guess.
You can fuck with this so fucking much. I don't know how long it'll take in here because my internet's probably shit in here, but
because so the song that I just dropped, the Running Through the Rave, that Saw Blade, I made in Mid-Journey.
Oh really?
Yeah, and so because I had seen like a CD, like a Chrome CD on Pinterest.
It gives you two options.
Yeah, let's see what this is about.
I think it should be ready.
Once clean and sober.
No, that's my mate's. That's my mate's song I made about him. That's funny as.
But what did he? That's from the soon.
Feel the bass drop low. Hard techno beat, gonna make this place blow. Big hard style.
You're out of a job.
Wow.
Booming guitars, shaking the ground. Bodies in motion, lost in the sound. Electrifying the air. We just don't care.
Wow.
It gives you two
Till
versions.
the clock, till the bass drop low. Hard techno beat, gonna make this place blow. Big hard style.
That's fucking wild, eh?
It's definitely tapped into. It's feeding off the punk vocal more than anything. See, okay. A lot of artists get scared of shit like that, right? But I look at that and I'm like, wait a minute. This is an opportunity to
work with it.
To do what, like, a doctor, not that I want to compare myself to cunts like that, but like what Dre did, what RZA did, what Premier did, you know, what Kanye did, like sampling the fuck out of shit, you know? And this is just samples that we can use. We can create. It's not like I'm taking from an old James Brown record and this old like funk whatever. You know, I'm putting shit together. Like, I love sampling. And this is just like an endless amount of samples that I can build for myself, because I would then take something like that. I'd probably put in something to try and get something a little simpler. And take the drum loop
So
there.
you can tweak,
Yeah.
because that's what I'm saying. Because you know how to make music, you would be able to manipulate it way better than I ever could. So you'd be able to legitimately make full fucking songs on it. Because you can edit, you can type in the lyrics you want and shit and place them.
My mate has shown me something
Like
like that too.
And this is like the version 2 of it.
Yeah, bro. Like, I mean, at some point, it's. I always say though, like, I've been thinking like this, that like, as long as, I mean, unless AI becomes conscious, which is a whole different conversation, which will just entirely change the world, right? But as long as it's something that's for human consumption, and we're always gonna like have a say as
be
to,
on top of it.
yeah, as have a say of what the product's got to be. So like artists are just gonna have to use it as a tool, and we will use it as a tool because like
make better
like
shit.
a creative person's gonna be like, that is dope, but here's what I want to do with it. So you've got to take that and then maybe do another one and then add some stuff and then create your own creation out of using it as parts. And like, as long as it's for our consumption, then I don't really care where it came from. Like, I hope there's a human on the other side, at least prompting. But if you've got ideas, like, it can give, this AI shit gives really, like, I even heard, like, some of the vocals in that was cringe.
Yeah.
But it's like, that was the first, that
Yeah.
took a second.
That took
you know,
1
so I'm
second.
not shitting on it,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know, you'd finesse it, and as a creative, if you're open to it, you just like, you can mold it into
You
something
need
that
human
you want
element to it.
Yeah. And as long as it's for us and by us, even if that's the tool we're using, you know, no one's like, oh, it's like using a car in a car race. No one can ever run that fucking fast, you know? But you're not angry at the fucking car. It's like, it's still for us.
That's a really good fucking analogy.
Right? Like, yeah, we're not going to be as fast or as quick and as efficient as that. It's a fucking computer program, you know? Like, but we still love car racing, and the fastest things, like what? Like, we're not even anywhere near as fast as what a jet could be.
Yeah.
You know? Usain Bolt or whatever. Yeah, he's the fastest runner, and we still appreciate that, you know? But like the human element, I think will still be there unless AI becomes conscious, and that's a whole other world we're living in. Then we're dealing with other beings around. So
That ChatGPT scares the fuck out of
Yeah.
me, man. It scares. I'll lose myself on that thing for ages, and it
Yeah.
just scares the fuck out of me.
have you ever tried Mid-Journey with images and stuff?
No, I haven't. I haven't fucked with it heaps, but I use Photoshop for my thumbnails, and they have fucking AI tools now.
What's it called?
Generative
Yeah.
images.
Yep, yep.
Bro, it's insane. I could take a picture of you and I'll
Yeah.
fucking put a little squiggle on your head and
Yeah.
I'll go give him hair. And
Yeah.
it'll just give you hair.
Yeah,
and
I wish it was real life.
your Hinge profile's about to go wild.
Yeah, I'm going to be the ultimate catfish.
But it's
be the
fucking
Tinder swindler or
it's-
whatever that kind of.
It's actually insane because you can just like crop the whole thing and be like, I want a chimpanzee fighting a fucking snake in space. It's still rough, but like I'm not a photographer, so I don't know the terms. Like I don't know about aperture and fucking
Yeah.
like shit like that. So
Yeah.
it's like if you're good at photography, it's such a benefit. It's just another thing like that.
Yeah.
It's like you shouldn't hate on it. Like
Yeah, I mean, because you're never gonna fight technology. So even if you do see huge flaws in it, which I can understand what people are saying,
it's the
but I'm like,
it's
just
all
put
the
your
copyright shit.
just put your hands in there, man, and like and be a part of it and use it.
The best thing about it is now playing that song, I won't get fucking copyrighted on YouTube because it's not an original song. Like
Yeah.
it's an original
Well, it
song.
is, yeah,
It's an
yeah, it's
original.
not a- yeah, it's not a released master,
sample
yeah.
or a master. I mean, it's like I won't get kicked off of YouTube. I can play fucking music on my podcast.
Yeah.
I could write an intro for every guest.
Yeah, you should.
I should. I will
Yeah,
now.
that's fucking. Have them ask what they want, and
But
then
It's fucking, it's just crazy. And I'm pretty sure we were talking about it a bit off camera. I don't know. I think I read that. Didn't Drake use Tupac in a
Yes,
song?
yes,
Is that what kicked it off?
I think he did. I'm not that up on this beef.
Yeah, I'm not
'cause I
going to
think it's
pretend like I am. I
lame.
just seen it all last night and I was like, and I think it was Fat Joe said that made I don't know, someone said something like, all these beefs are funny until someone dies. I'm like, what do you think fucking Drake's going to kill Kendrick Lamar? Like,
Yeah.
you're not that guy.
Yeah.
Like, you're just
Yeah.
not that guy.
And they're probably all in the studio together writing all this shit.
Yeah.
It's like when Drake and Kanye had beef, and then like literally a month later they're doing a show together, and now they fucking love each other. Well, now they hate each other again. It's like, I don't know, man. People are saying that this is making rap exciting again. I feel
don't
like this
think
is
so.
making rap lame.
I thought MGK and Eminem's beef was more relevant.
Yeah, dude. And I thought that was pretty lame, except
Yeah.
for like Eminem. They were both pretty good diss records. It just
Yeah,
didn't
that's
make sense that
it's
they
just
were
not
beefing.
the same unless you're like an actual like on the field gangster. Like, fucking, like, what are you're arguing about music?
Yeah, bro.
Like, what are you arguing about?
Yeah.
You're just arguing about fucking music.
These are just like millionaires who are,
These are artists.
and I don't know, man, but I guess maybe that's rap culture over there.
Drake's got the fucking most. He sleeps in a fucking $2 million bed. He's not beating the shit out of anyone.
Yeah, and like, of course, you're gonna have critics and hate at that level of any. Like Taylor Swift gets more hate than Drake. Why isn't she making diss records? You know what I mean?
About
like,
Kanye.
Yeah, no, she should thank him for that. But you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like immature. It's just all just so fucking lame.
And do you know what? I'm gonna say it. The songs are fucking all terrible. I listen to. I'm a massive fan of Kendrick Lamar as
same.
well. I fucking really like it, but it just doesn't sound like it's not.
Yeah, that one, I listened to that last
The Euphoria
night.
or whatever.
Yeah,
I
and
thought it was shit. The last one he did was alright.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, this is pretty good, but
It's not hit him up.
I'm just not buying into it, you know?
It's not hit him up. He's
Yeah.
not telling him he wants fucking children to fucking die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like who shot you or
And
fucking.
it's not even funny either. Like, they're pretending like this is all real. And then this is probably to promote a tour they're all going to go on. You know what I mean? It's like, at least if you're going to do that, make it a little bit comical. But maybe, you know, people take rap too seriously when you look at artists like that, you know? I get if you're a street dude who does rap, you kind of got to keep it real. But like, them motherfuckers they've been successful for that long and they're that big that like they're pure just artists. They should live in this like fictional world of just like providing entertainment and making dope shit. And so like make it a bit comical or go like make it more unrealistic or whatever. I don't know, like the way that Eminem did the whole, like as Slim Shady, you know, like he took it out of the realm of what would be almost real, you know? And it's like, because I mean, no one believes this beef. You know, unless they do start killing each other, but
it would probably add to the story a bit, but I fucking don't know. It's just not. I think it's just gay.
Yeah,
just
I don't fuck with it. Hey,
it's just gay, and then there is some. I don't know. Rap for me just died a long time ago. But then again, I have found like a few rappers from Texas that I will listen to daily now. Yeah, there's that Mexican OT.
I haven't heard of.
Fuck, bro, he is so good. And
Yeah.
Big X the Plug, he is so
I think I heard of him,
fucking
yeah.
good.
Yeah, there's a lot of dope rap, man. Like
I just find myself listening to old fucking Kanye shit. And
yeah, man, and 90s hip hop.
He ages just better every year for me.
I mean, I'm still a huge fan of the Baby.
I like the baby shit as well.
And I kind of like, aside from all his drama,
No one fell off harder than the baby.
yeah, which sucks, but this music he's put out since then has been his best, I think. It just hasn't succeeded the way his stuff used to do, but like his freestyles are phenomenal, man.
He's got such a good flow.
Yeah, dude, he's sick.
He is sick, and he's about that fucking life. Like,
Yeah,
he's a fucking
when you
legit-
hear the baby talking about like some, like if he dropped a beef record, it'd be like a warning shot that because he's gonna go at one of them, you know.
He killed someone, or he killed. I
Yeah.
think he's fucking. Also, I think they tried to kill him allegedly, but he's about that life.
Yeah,
That would make more sense, but like just to me, like people
these
like
gangster
Kanye,
rappers kind of should be gangster, otherwise
Yeah, they should.
don't rap about it.
like NLE Chopper. He's not the best.
Yeah.
He's not the best rapper at all, but I love his shit because you can tell he's like, oh, he's fucking thug.
Except like I say that, right, but then I also hold this kind of opposing view that but it wouldn't work unless you were like someone like Childish Gambino could do it, because we know he writes fiction and he writes, because I love Tarantino and all like violent film, right? And I felt like even early Eminem had this kind of, it felt like a movie, not like a story of his life. There was parts that
It was over the top.
Yeah, it was over, like Kim. You know, Kim is such a such a violent song that like if it was in movie form, people would be like, oh, that's a really cool horror, you know? And like I just wish some of these artists would like go down that route as opposed to like trying to pretend that they're hard. Like you don't have to be real.
Build
but
a character.
Yeah, it doesn't. I guess that doesn't exist as strongly in rap, you know. Like, and if you're gonna pretend or act real at any point you kind of got to go all the way. You know, if you're like Mad Face, no, what's that cunt that? Oh fuck, I don't know what the name's escaping me. But there are some artists that kind of like adopt like the character and go down that route, and I fucking love that shit.
But then you can go the other way. You can be like a Tekashi 6ix9ine that's just a fucking
that's
weasel.
whack.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's just hard. Like he's too much of a character
Yeah.
because he's a bitch.
Yeah.
But that is just I was Genius out when we? No, it wouldn't have been. Have you seen that Kanye doco?
Yes.
On Netflix,
Yeah.
the 3-part series.
Yeah.
Bro, that just made me like love that cunt even more.
I hated it.
You didn't like it?
Fucking, who's the guy that made it? What's his name?
I forgot the guy that made it.
I loved it, right, because it was so in depth and we saw behind the scene. But I did not. What the fuck is that cunt talking about his life at all? The documentary guy.
Oh, the guy who was recording.
It's like, bro, like he missed out. Yes, fair enough, he wasn't there, but he missed the whole beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy era of
Which
Kanye,
was the biggest.
which was the era. It's
Yeah.
like that should have been a whole documentary, right? There's this podcast called Dissect that like it like breaks down that whole album. It's like each song has an episode of an hour, and the guy breaks down that whole album. It's amazing. That's like the best album of all time to me, right? And just the fact that like there was not much about that, and then there was all this like going to this guy's family. It's like you just film Kanye sometimes. Like fucking shut up about yourself. Go back to Kanye. That's the one thing I didn't like about it. But
just
it was
witnessing the rise, I mean,
bro,
like,
it was cool.
because you see
seeing-
him when he was just producing for cunts, and he's like, "Fuck this,
Yeah.
like, fuck it."
There's this YouTube documentary called
And he's the exact same as he is now.
Yeah.
he's the same.
Except
he's just probably a bit more
just
fucking
lost in his
the sauce a bit,
like he proved himself right.
and he's god
Like
complex.
he used this like delusion of like confidence to fight his own insecurities and the fact everyone was against him, but then succeeded by like his ultimate success proved everybody wrong. That now that false confidence still there, but he's been proven right. So like that's where I think it's toxic. Because
Yeah.
no one can tell him no anymore. They used to be able to tell him no and be like, nah, bro. And then he had to fight to prove himself right. But now he's been proven right time and time again of how good he is. That like, that's false confidence has become real. And that's why like, he's just I don't listen to a thing Kanye says, but his music's great.
See, Donda, I
He's
didn't
just
mind it. Just how he's like fused his style with like high fashion and shit.
It's brilliant, man.
It's so
Yeah.
weird, but it works.
Yeah.
Like those Donda live performances, it looks like fucking cult. It looks like they're
Yeah,
about to
man.
fucking burn a effigy and fucking
Yeah.
start chanting. Like, but it's just he's got a cult following.
Yeah, man. His stuff's really like that whole. I didn't really like Donda the album, but the performance was amazing.
Yeah.
It's like that live stream, and then this Vultures album is like, it's really great.
I was talking about
It's
Vultures.
just not that-
I was talking about Vultures.
Oh.
Vultures was the last album.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
talking about Vultures, not
Yeah.
Donda. Donda was fucking 3 years ago.
Yeah. But that
Vultures.
performance was
Yeah.
had that similar kind of vibe of like his house, the remaking the house in the middle of the stadium, and it was all dark and all the people around it and like them.
It was burning and shit.
Yeah, like that
Yeah.
was dope. And then like all the shit he's doing with Vultures is insane.
See,
Even
I
though
liked
I
it.
just don't think his raps are good anymore.
No, he's not.
His
but
music is brilliant. His marketing, his visions, his visuals, all of it. But then his raps suck, and what he says in interviews is just like,
what's the song he does with his daughter? The song he does with his daughter, Northwest.
yeah,
Shit, it's shit song, but I like it. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And I think Ty Dolla $ign's in it as well. So it's not the best song. Like
yeah, I don't know.
it's just good.
All the work that Kanye, it felt like at his prime around like beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, the Watch the Throne, Good Music, Yeezus, all that shit where it's like he had all these brilliant ideas and then they work on them and finesse them into great songs. It's like he just doesn't go past the idea stage anymore. He's just like,
Just puts it out.
yeah, you know, like you know, he used to have writers and a bunch of people in the room, and like, you know, he talked about how they spent 5,000 hours working on Power, the song, you know, and it's like, you can hear it in that music. You know what I mean? Maybe that's an over exaggeration because it's a hell of a lot of time, right? But like, yeah, there was this like working on it and perfection, you know, like that can become poisonous and you can never release anything.
Well, he can,
like what Dr. Dre, like where like he just
never
releases, you know.
Kanye can pull it off though, but all of these like younger rappers trying to emulate it, it just doesn't work. They just come off as fucking wankers. Yeah, like that. What's that dickhead that went on that Aiden Ross's stream and just stole $2 million from him for a fucking?
I don't even know.
Oh, he featured on the Kanye album. He actually performed Vultures live with him. He's one of the biggest rappers in the world. He's younger, but he's just real eccentric. Like wears a mask and.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. I don't know the name.
Weird cunt.
I'm not really like that up on like the hip hop, like the new hip hop.
Oh, so a lot of them are like that though. Like they like that. They put like a real weird persona on, and it just doesn't pull it off. Like they just look like fucking idiots. But but then you get like kids fucking enjoy it. Like all the like the little Dirks and all the fucking little Uzi Verts and shit. I just don't fuck with them.
I fuck with Uzi.
He's got that one song that's fucking great.
He's got a lot of great records, man. He is eccentric and weird, so it's like hard to digest. Same with Playboi Carti. Like
Playboi Carti, that's who I'm fucking talking about.
You don't like Playboi Carti?
He's just a weird cunt.
I mean, you have to like weird shit to like him, and like if you're a traditionalist in your taste in hip hop, then he's not.
Playboi Carti's like pretty eccentric, isn't he? He's the one I'm talking about.
There's like he's kind of like the bench line for a bunch of these others, because I've been put onto a few others
massive.
who are crazy. Yeah, Playboi Carti's huge.
He's massive,
and his stuff's dope. Not all of it. Like I don't like all of it, but like he's got the Red album that he did, and it's half kind of like 808 distortion punk.
That's
half hip hop.
It crosses over with like hardcore music a lot.
Yeah, and so like if you look at it through that lens, it's like, oh, that shit's really dope. Like I listen to that and be like, you know, get ideas for.
It all stems from SoundCloud rappers, really. Like what was the
Triple X?
The Triple X. He was probably like the original. Or I know people
one of the early guys that blew up and really took it to the world.
Yeah, because I've never really fucking sat down and listened to any of his songs. But if you ask, like, I remember we were drinking at my house one day, and there was like these 18-year-old dudes there that I work with, and I was like, "Who do you reckon is like the best rapper of all time?" He's like Triple X, like XXX. Yeah, and I was like, that just baffles me.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
I get it.
It's just it's their era.
Because when we say best rapper of all time, like we instantly are thinking of like lyrical.
Yeah.
Right. And it's almost like it's like a sport, you know, like who's the most lyrical. Right. And so like there's people who will fit into that category that don't even they just make good, like they can rap well. Like they're not even the best songs, you know, like. Yeah, it just was more about lyrical content than it was anything else, you know? And that I still love that shit and that's dope. But like hip hop became everything that like it was inevitable that like these new genres are going to like do something way different with it, you know? And like people used to have control over what they could say, you know? Like, so like, you get a simple hip hop beat, it would be banging and dope, but you know you're in total control over what you can rap, you know, and so then the focus is lyrics, right? But now these kids, like they've grown up with like laptops at their hands, so the sonics are now like they can do whatever they fucking want with it. So like the concentration on like, oh, should I be a lyricist or should I be like make weird as fuck sounds and that be my voice, like, and that I feel like that's fed into it a lot, and you know it's just apples and oranges, you know, it's just different shit.
It's just the times fucking just changing, and you're getting old, and you know, when you're a kid and you're listening to shit and your parents are like, what's that shit you're listening to? It's just a cycle of life.
Yeah. I kind of like that it's different because then it's not like trying to be like, you know, I don't want like 2024 DMX, you know, like because that was from that era. It's like I want new. I don't know. I just like new shit. So I like hearing exciting new shit. I do like when I hear the sounds of the old come back, and hip hop. All genres seem to be benefiting from this. That like the main might be this, and if you don't fuck with it, you can just go to all these niches, and they're still huge. You know, there's this group called Joey Valance and Bray. I don't know if you heard of them. You're a fan of the Beastie Boys?
Yeah.
These motherfuckers, once you get past the fact that they sound exactly like the Beastie Boys, you're like, this is really dope because they sound like the modern Beastie Boys.
That's
but it
crazy.
Sounds exactly like they're entirely inspired from them, you know? And their shit's banging. Yeah, you should check them out.
That's why I like that Big X, the plug. He just fucking, he's like reminiscent-esque of Biggie.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll have to suss
And
him
he's
out.
a big motherfucker as well. Kind of like has the same kind of voice, like kind of choked up, but like real deep voice. Like he's fucking good.
That motherfucker, that guy you had on one of your podcasts,
Goobsy.
Dude, I listened to some of his shit. I hadn't heard of him, and then I watched the snippet, and I was like,
He would be
his
excellent
stuff
for some,
is so dope,
dude,
bro.
for
I
some
fuck with-
vocals on your
man,
on your
for
track,
sure.
because he's got a raspy as fuck
Yeah,
voice.
I just saw the clip of him screaming into the mic here, and then I went on his Instagram and like heard his raps. I was like, this cunt is dope.
Yeah, you should listen to Peeps as well.
Is
I've had
cool.
Peeps on,
Yeah.
and Goobsy's style is fucking really heavily based on this guy called Peeps, and he's from up north.
He's from Adelaide as well.
From Adelaide,
Oh, dope.
and he's
I'll suss him out.
just come back to making music again. They're Black Teeth Red Gums. Him and Rems are called.
Yeah.
And his vocals are fucking nasty.
Yeah, man.
It's like just dirty, fucking grimy, raspy fucking
bro.
voice, dude. I love that kind
That
of
same.
shit.
I'm more like I get way more into not more, but like I'm drawn to voices.
If
with
you can
character.
hear pain in it,
Yeah, you know, like Busta Rhymes, Big Pun,
dude.
Old Dirty
Even
Bastard.
like, even I love listening to fucking Miley Cyrus because her voice to me is just so sexy.
Yeah.
It's just so
and,
sexy.
and grimy too. It's like dirty sexy. It's like filthy sexy.
Well, she fucking really heavily damaged her vocal cords, so that's just her voice now. Like,
the way, even just the way she talks is like,
yeah, she's just fucking,
it's
just
sexy, but it's like,
her voice is nice.
it's like, just, it's not pretty.
Did you say you did a fucking song for Billy Ray?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's a song, the Avila brothers who I worked on with the USHER stuff with, they did a song, they released a song, because they're like a producer duo group, and they did a song with Snoop Dogg and Billy Ray Cyrus called Hard Working Man that I helped work on. That came out in like 2021.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done some weird
It's
shit.
great.
eh?
Yeah, bro. Like,
Are you gunning for like a festival or like a big? Do you have like a goal in mind to get in
Now-
like a fucking boiler room or like?
Yes. So with this Luke Noize project, for sure, on the production side, like with the Kronic stuff, working with artists like Billy Ray or whoever, Usher, John, all that. Like, I go out to LA, you know, a few months each year, keep my connections, and I just go with the flow, see what happens. That's how most of it comes out, you know, like out of nowhere. And then I'll have my artist project, which I'll run at the same time, the Luke Noize stuff. And the goal is, like, my eyes are on like Boiler Room and, you know, them festivals, that type of shit. But then it's funny you mentioned Anima, like that vibe. Like, I'm gonna eventually, hopefully soon, bring in like an element of like character building to it, because I want to like, that's why I want to keep all this shit dark and ominous and have this narrative of like kind of the misfit outsider, so that I can then introduce like the character, like the voice in my head will become a character,
A physical or like a picture on
like
a
an
screen.
avatar type thing, and then like get into some type of visual stuff, like, you know, make a short series like Love, Death or Robots or Black Mirror or Sin City or a Tarantino thing.
That Love, Death or Robots.
Crazy, right?
I remember I was fucking so high. I don't smoke a heap of weed anymore, so when I smoke weed, I get fucking so high. And I remember I was just on my bed. It was like 1 a.m, and I put on that Love, Death and Robots because it looked alright.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the coolest fucking shit I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and
dude.
I don't know if I was just really high or not, but I watched it all, I think it's 3 seasons. It's fucking phenomenal.
It's amazing, right?
Some of them are like, give you like the one with that siren bitch, the mermaid, that fucking, oh my God, that's
and the one
wild.
with the girl who's she's in a
Apartment
house,
block?
and then the
Oh, and
guy
it-
sees,
and it's like a loop?
Like yeah.
Oh,
it's called The
man.
Witness. That's amazing. So the Luke Noize project started kind of because I'm like a.
Would you have something say like that? Are you talking you'd have something like that on the background while you're playing, or like you would just like to do something solely
No,
like
I want
that?
to like. So if you take a show like that, right? Like this is how I try to explain it to people because everyone thinks because as a musician that my goal is to make like really cool music videos that have like a story to them. That's not at all what I want to do. Like that's cool, but like I want to build this project up to like a level that I'm like, oh, there's some success here and I've got some fans and I'll introduce this like kind of dark narrative to it. But then the third album is a series like Love, Death and Robots.
That's sick.
Like I've got like tell stories like that but imagine Love, Death and Robots like or a Tarantino style revenge series, but it's based around like people taking and selling drugs in a rave scene, but a world that's like just lifted out of reality a bit, you know? It's not
It's like every time someone drops a ping, they turn into a werewolf.
yeah, that type shit, you know?
Everyone
And
starts
like
dying.
you know, have you seen Atlanta, Childish Gambino's show?
No, apparently it's sick.
Yeah, and he did this one called Swarm, which is he's not in it, but he wrote it, and it's like it's based off of this girl who's a fan, like a super fan of this chick who's it's like a Beyonce type artist, but they made a fictional one, and just she's like crazy, and she ends up killing people to get tickets, and it's like this crazy weird series.
Is that a mini series?
Yeah, like a limited series.
Is it on Netflix?
I think it's on Prime.
What's it called?
Swarm.
Swarm.
It's fucking amazing. And like that's my. I just you know I got like a lot of story ideas and I you know as a hobby I'm kind of writing a script, you know, and I'm like I'll eventually want to get to that. And so
Do you appreciate film and shit
I
as well?
love it, yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
seen Baby Reindeer?
No, I haven't. That's new, right? That just kept drop.
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix. That is such a wild show. It's so
Yeah.
hectic. It's a real
sick.
story. I don't know if this is true or not. Allegedly, the guy who plays the main character is the one who it's actually about. So he plays himself. Allegedly.
Oh,
I think I haven't looked that up, but I've heard that a few times.
What's it about?
Bro, this guy's like works at a bar. He's a comedian, like a failed-ish comedian, and he like gives this old haggard bitch a free drink because she can't afford it, and
Yeah.
she becomes like his stalker
I think I seen the trailer for that, and I was like, yeah, I need to see this.
because he's so mentally fucked up because of like past events, which you find out through the show. He like starts fucking with having a stalker, but he hates it. But he's like he can't live without her. He's like so he
Yeah.
turns into a bit of a fucking stalker as well.
Yeah.
but he's like he's a twisted motherfucker, dude. It's like it's a hectic story.
yeah, I need to check that out.
Oh,
yeah.
it's so good.
yeah.
He's like meets like this big fucking TV executive or TV producer, and like he's fucking grooming him and shit.
Yeah.
But it's fucking wild. Just doing like mass amounts of GHB and getting fucking.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, sick. I'm gonna suss it out. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. I think it's only like 9 episodes.
They're my favorite type of
Because it's one and done.
Yeah, like the short series, like Queen's Gambit was amazing to me.
Is that good?
Amazing? Yeah, and like you know, even like shows that have multiple series, but like that are anthology. No, an anthologies. Each episode's different.
Like every
But, like,
season's
True
different.
Detective.
Yeah. True Detective season 2 with Matthew McConaughey.
That's the first season.
Is that the first one? With Matthew
probably
McConaughey?
the best limited series of all time.
Yeah, I only watched that recently, like
Yeah,
last year,
it's
and it was fucking crazy.
Phenomenal. Hey, yeah.
It's like Skins. I used to like Skins because every 2 seasons there was new characters.
Yeah.
So it was a different storyline every 2 seasons.
yeah.
But fuck, True Detective's so good.
Yeah. That first one. The third one's pretty good with
I haven't watched it. Is that the one that just came out?
No, that's with Jodie Foster. I started getting. I wasn't really fucking with that one, but that Fargo is an amazing TV show based off the movie. The second season of that is probably one of my favorite limited seasons of all time.
I see. I fucking do.
Yeah.
I do love like a normal show if it's dope. Like when Game of Thrones was fucking
Oh
popping.
yeah, I just started rewatching that. Yeah.
I rewatched it like a year and a half
Yeah.
ago because I was like, maybe it's not as bad. The ending wasn't like as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I was just overreacting.
Yeah.
And then during the like 6, 7 season, I was like,
It's just so
what are you
stupid
doing?
how
Like,
it ended,
what are you doing? And
Actually,
I'm still in love with that bitch Khaleesi as well, and they just did her dirty.
Yeah.
Just fucked her over.
I just wrote a note actually because I write notes about like ideas for creativity shit, and I was like, because I watched a snippet of it, and I was like, I'm gonna rewatch Game of Thrones. I'm like, I need to watch Game of Thrones again just to tap into how ruthless. It's such a popular big like pop show, but it's so ruthless,
bro. Joffrey, I've never hated a fucking character more than I hate that cunt. He can't get a job now. You know that? He does Broadway.
Because people think...
People know. He did it that well that he fucked himself out of other roles.
Yeah.
Because if you go and watch a fucking romance movie and Joffrey...
You just think he's going to be a manipulative
he's going to fucking rape her.
Yeah. He's got to really switch it up and do something crazy. Like something really...
He played it that well.
The way Robert Pattinson went the other way, you know, going from like the Twilight shit to becoming like
Batman.
An amazing... Yeah. And like
I liked it as
Good
well.
Time... Have you seen Good Time?
No.
Like, have you seen Uncut Gems?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the movie before they did Uncut Gems, that mob, like the Safdie brothers.
Oh, Safdie brothers,
yeah. Good Time, he's in that.
Dude, Uncut Gems is the first movie. I don't even know how to put like a title, a genre on it, because it's the first movie that I felt like was an anxiety thriller. Like you just felt fucking so anxious for 2 hours. That's all you felt.
Yeah.
Like you weren't
I love
scared.
it. Yeah.
You weren't like, you just were like, oh my God, don't do
You're
it.
on the edge the whole time.
Just don't fucking do it. Just take the money and go home.
I watched it. I loved it. And then I went and watched it in the cinema with my mate. And so that was his first time watching it. And I was just looking like at him, and he's just on there. What the fuck are you doing? Like it's just non-stop.
And Adam Sandler, like such a curveball.
Yeah,
but he played it so well. That's a great movie.
Yeah, it's fucking phenomenal. That's like one of my favorites out of like modern cinema. Like,
but back to Game of Thrones, that has probably the most hectic and greatest episode of all time, the Red Wedding.
Oh, which one's the Red Wedding?
The Red Wedding's when fucking everything goes to shit with fucking the Starks and those other cunts. Like they're at a wedding and fucking everyone... I can fucking spoil the show now. It's been 10 years, cunt.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it all.
The Red Wedding's where like the Starks' mum and all that get murdered.
Oh, yeah, that's sick.
It just turns, just fucking flips. All of your favourite characters... One thing I love about Game of Thrones, all your favourite characters fucking just die. They don't, like everyone's so indispensable in it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, like a handful stay the whole time, but majority of them just die. I love that too.
House of Dragon's fucking surprisingly not bad.
Yeah,
It's confused me with the time switch. I was like, why the fuck is everyone a different actor now? Because they went forward. The last episode of that show though was like, well, now it feels a bit like Game of Thrones. Gone a bit wild.
Yeah. That was pretty good. It just, I mean,
it's not going to be the same.
I mean, it was. That's hard though, because Game of Thrones was so amazing.
Yeah, it's like fucking the Sopranos. I'll rewatch that every couple years. I'll rewatch Breaking Bad every couple years.
Fuck, that's amazing. Yeah.
And the Last of Us is probably the best show I've seen in a few years.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it all the way through, but that was pretty dope.
Have you played? Oh, you have the game.
I'm not really a gamer.
It's fucking. That story of the game is actual phenomenal. It's such a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets wild.
Yeah, dope.
So, do you have any shows? You're going to Brisbane soon?
No, nah. I'm going to LA in June.
You're going to LA?
Yeah, I'm doing a show in Townsville in May 18th. That's next weekend.
As Luke Noize?
Yeah.
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not rushing to jump into it, like, because I want to build the project first. And I kind of have the luxury of not having to get out on the road straight away. Like, I kind of want to build it with songs first, not like just going and playing everywhere. And because the actual nightlife scene is so like kind of fickle and hard to like, if you're not a name, it's hard to find a good crowd to play to, which kind of sucks for upcoming like DJ producers who like want to take that route, you know, because you got to I don't really want to cater, you know. I don't want to be like, I'm going to play this spot, but I have to like, niche. I have to play more commercial or more this or more that. Like, and I'm going to have to do a little bit of that, you know, at the start, but I'm going to try pick and choose where I can play so that I can kind of just keep it fun for me, you know?
Yeah.
Because the end goal is like further than that anyway, you know, you want to like be able to sell tickets and be able to put on my own shows. So
You've been in the game for fucking so long though. You almost
Yeah.
got like a leg up on a lot of people that would be starting out because
in terms of knowledge, especially,
you got
yeah.
so much fucking time and hours in the game.
Yeah.
It's like you've done your 1,000 hours,
Yeah,
your 10,000 hours. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You've already done that. Now
Yeah.
you have like a recipe for success in your head. You just have to apply it to now a different fucking avenue.
Yeah, totally. It feels like exciting and nerve wracking starting again with a project, but it's like I'm loving it, and yeah, like you said, like a lot of it is in the knowledge and the experience. You know, it's like I don't feel a rush to jump out and play in front of crowds straight away because I'm like I don't need to. You know, like I can build it via songs, and a lot of people start out and they look at their like dream artists that they want to be, and they look at these big pop or like commercial records they have, and they're like, that's what I want to do. So they start trying to make songs like that, and I'm like, but you got to realize that might be their 20th 30th song, you know, like you want to start with like what you want to be known for, you know, and build up. You know, you can be weirder and alternative like when you're first starting, like your core fans don't want a pop song unless you're a pop artist from the get-go, you know.
It's also you got to
so-
be fucking like really I feel like from the jump you got to be really authentic to who you want to be in the future, because if you fucking start off with this thing that you're just doing because you think it'll get traction, but then you end up fucking hating it, you've already accumulated like a core audience of people that just want to fucking see that.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
That's your thing now, so you might as well start off doing some shit you fucking actually love and don't
Yeah.
try and like manipulate the fucking algorithm.
And people think that like by staying true to a thing or a sound or your brand that you have to stick to a genre, but I don't think it's just about genre. Like if you have like a brand, if you build your brand and your narrative and the look and the vibe of your project, you can switch between genres. You know, you look at like the Prodigy, they're a good example. I mean, it's such an old example, but it's still a good example. Like they had all different genres, you know, but they had a sound to all of it and they had a vibe to all of it. And it was like, you know, if the through line is like this dark, ominous, you know, narrative of a misfit rebel, right, then you can do any sort of genre as long as it feels like it's a part of it. Like if this is your movie, it doesn't have to just be drum and bass in it. You can put all sorts of genres in it as long as it feels like it fits in the movie or the brand or the theme or the vibe. So like that's just where my head's been at, because I love all sorts of genres. So like
Yeah, I gather that. You seem like you fucking... That's the same as me, though. I've gone through massive phases. Like the last 4 years, I've exclusively listened to like really fucking heavy metal or metalcore.
Yeah.
That's like Parkway Drive and shit like that. Because the best thing about being open-minded with music is you'll find a genre you like in a totally different thing, like rap to rock.
Yeah.
And then because you've just dived into it, you get to listen to all those classics for the first time.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
you're-
amazing. I
like-
love not knowing shit.
Yeah,
Because,
bro.
like the holes in your knowledge are the best gift you'll ever get, because it's the first time like you said, the first time you're hearing shit, you know?
Yeah.
Exploring a new genre. And
Like
it's
imagine someone who was strictly an EDM head, like a festy head, like I just loved it, being like, oh, I heard this rap song, I've literally never listened to
Yeah.
rap. And then you're like, oh my God, listen to fucking... You have archives from the fucking late 80s to the mid 2000s. You can spend
man.
a million hours listening to Biggie Smalls for the first time, Tupac, fucking Wu-Tang.
I saw a reaction video of these kids listening to Twins by Big Pun and Fat Joe for the first time.
Fuck.
Dead in the middle and little did we know that we did it. And I'm like, and they're just like, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I could like get back, like not knowing that and hearing that for the fucking
Amnesia
first
for a
time.
day.
Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this cunt?
If you fucking could like wipe your memory for one day, what would like the one thing you'd want to hear for the first time be again?
Oh, I want to say Wu-Tang, right?
Really?
Because I want to hear Old Dirty Bastard for the first time again.
Really?
Yeah, because he's just and because I could say Wu-Tang and get all of Wu-Tang, you know, Raekwon and Method Man and all that shit and RZA, but like Old Dirty Bastard is like my favorite of all time.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Of any rapper?
yeah, but for more than just a rapper, because the character he is and the voice, it's
That's
like,
one thing Wu-Tang executed perfectly. They were like the Seven Dwarfs, bro. They had like all of their kind of set roles of who they had, like very distinct personalities.
Yeah.
I used to love fucking Redman and Method Man. Like,
yeah, so dope.
and
yeah.
just the offset of Wu-Tang to like where they turned into kind of like the stoners of the group, and they were doing like How High
Yeah.
and shit. Like, it's just so fun.
Yeah, man. And then like all of them are great, but Old Dirty Bastard just so weird and eccentric, and like he'd half sing, half rap. It was like, yeah, I listen to his shit all the time, and just I'm not like, this isn't even a rap song. Like, it's just something else completely, you know? He's just so dope.
Yeah, that's
The character in his voice is second to none.
Wu-Tang's a really good one.
Yeah. What about you?
If I had to pick like a song, I'd listen to fucking Guided Relaxation by Borgore.
Okay, yeah, I don't even know that record.
Oh,
But it's going to
bro.
be my first time
It's
hearing
just like, it's just, I don't even know if it sounds the same. I just remember the first time I
Yeah.
heard it. That was the first time I heard dubstep.
it. Yep.
And it was just such a fucking, like when dubstep was literally just fucking boof. And Borgore used to be nasty as fuck. And I just
Yeah.
remember where I was. I think I like smoked weed for the first time that night, maybe
Yeah.
when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I just remember hearing this song, and it was just like, foof.
Yeah.
Like, just my brain just opened to another genre, because I only listened to one type of music up until that point.
Yeah.
And it was just probably more the memorable. Oh, fuck. I just, like I said, though, just the best thing about diving into new genres is you get their whole discography that comes with it.
Yeah. So, okay, I'd also then say Kanye with My Beautiful Twisted Fantasy, that and Yeezus, and then Gesafferstein, the album that kind of Yeezus was sort of like inspired by musically. I think it's called Aleph. Like them three as well would be, I'd love to hear them for the first time again.
Oh, there's
Just knowing what I like, you
and
know.
even movies, just like being able to see a movie for the
Kill
first
Bill
time.
again for the first time.
Kill Bill's yours. Really?
That's secretly, like not secretly, that's like weirdly my favorite film of all time.
I'm pretty sure that's not a weird one. That's fucking pretty worthy.
I know, like even Tarantino has better films.
Yeah, that's not Tarantino's best film.
yeah, but
you
it's
can,
my favorite because it's
the time and place and
but besides being a great film,
The
and
aesthetic of it.
I love revenge. It's also, it's like the ultimate mashup piece of like art. It's like a collage art. It's like a ransom note movie. You know, like each character she goes to kill is done in a different style. There's blaxploitation, there's western, there's kung fu, there's anime. So it's like this mashup, and then he's literally like used the score from old films, and he's used them songs in it. Like the Bruce Lee outfit that she wears becomes hers.
So good.
You know, it's like, it's an ultimate mashup film, right? And the RZA was a part of the scoring of it. So like when I heard like,
was he?
yeah, man, like the
Really?
Liquid Swords, you know, like Jizz's Liquid Swords. Fuck, why am I drawing a blank on how it goes? But like that opening kung fu scene on Jizz's Liquid Swords is from an old kung fu film, which Tarantino puts in the film. Like her daughter's watching it in Kill Bill 2, as like her and the daughter are watching TV, and like it just feels like, to me, Tarantino's the 10th member of the Wu-Tang. Like that feels like his solo Wu-Tang album.
Yeah.
As weirdly as, like, it's this weird analogy I have that, but
He's got one more movie in him, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah.
And then he wants to make a mini series.
I reckon he's like either lucked onto something, because when he was like, I'm not making movies after 10, and he's like, I might do some TV after it. He said that when it wasn't cool to do TV.
Imagine a limited
Tarantino series
bro.
would be even better than his movies.
8 episodes, 12 hours of fucking... That would be so good. I reckon I'd have to go back and watch Interstellar for the first time.
Yeah.
Bro, that is
Ooh, yeah.
that is probably the greatest piece of fucking cinema of it. Just the sound, just the score of it and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just such a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, in saying that, I'd love to see Wolf of Wall Street for the first time.
That, I mean, out of modern ones, like I remember seeing Joker and Uncut Gems.
Joker
And
is in the Joaquin Phoenix
the Joaquin one.
That's so good.
And just I that and Uncut Gems. I remember walking out of the cinema
feel
just
fatigued.
shocked.
Yeah, you feel
Just
fatigued.
like, that was the greatest thing ever.
Joker's fucking such a great movie.
Like for that week, both of them films were the best film I've ever seen of all time.
Yeah.
Like, and so I can imagine then listening to like Wu-Tang again for the first time and being like, there's no other music.
This is it.
Same with like that Kanye shit or like Gasafastine for the first time, like, but his old shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. So I won't keep you too long, but that was fun. We will touch base again in a few months when you're back. So what, you leave June?
Yeah, I'll be in LA for a few months in June.
Yeah, working with John.
Yeah. yeah. We'll do some shit. Like, I have zero things planned. I just go there, stay out there. My manager's out there. A lot of people I know, and work just comes up. Yeah, just get him, do sessions with people and see what comes.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
Nah, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Love it.
Love
Thanks.
it.